Look at gold! Coin is actually bleeding against gold. Silver since 2022 till now has outperformed your favorite altcoins. My God. We're down across the board, but you already know this. You already know. That's not why you're here. My channel is completely different to this channel. I'm not optimizing for views. I'm optimizing for profits. I'm here to help you make money. I'm not here to sell you crack and heroin.
Is now forced to unite. But
whoa. Let's stop you right there with the propaganda. Germany is a meme coin. It's a shit coin. It's always heading downwards. I'm telling you now, folks, sell your XRP, guys. Sell your XRP.
Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Ahmed at Altcoin Era. Eid Mubarak to myself and everyone else. Let's begin. Let's start. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join our private members. Link in the bio. Let's begin. I'm gonna start off with the elephant in the room. It's not looking good, but we did predict this. We did say before all your favorite influencers, we did say that Trump is gonna cause a recession, a induced recession, and we said Trump is gonna force the Fed to bend the knee. He's gonna force them to bend the knee, and they will. They're very, very close. Look how scared they are. We're in a corrective territory now. The S&P 500 is not looking good. The S&P 500 is currently in a corrective period. If it's down 10%, that means we're in a correction. If it's down 15 to 20%, then that, ladies and gentlemen, means we are in a bear market. We are in a similar trajectory to what? Have a wild guess. Coin is actually outperforming the S&P 500. If you see right over here, the S&P 500 made a new lower low. However, Bitcoin just made a higher low. I want to remind you what I said in a previous episode. We're reaching 94,000 US dollars before we ever touch 70. Like I said previously in many other episodes, Bitcoin will head to 94,000 US dollars. That's what we predict at Altcoin Era. Then possibly going to make another retest of the lows or a new lower low. Why am I so confident? It's because of global liquidity, my friends. Global liquidity has increased. M2 supply has increased. So what does that mean regarding Bitcoin? We're heading... Look at gold! Look at this. Coin is actually bleeding against gold. Coin has actually underperformed gold and it's gone down by 34% since December. Even silver is outperforming. It's gone up massively for the yearly. On the yearly, it's gone up 20% and it's about to make an all-time new high. Silver, since 2022 till now, has outperformed your favorite altcoins. My God. You know it's outperformed. It's actually outperformed. I don't want to pick on any particular coin. Let me pick silver. Finally pumped. Let me check. This is Arbitrum, yeah? Since 2023 till now, it's gone down 75%. Oh my God. The real alpha in some of these altcoins is simply too shorted. We have periods where we peak, and this is what? An altcoin rally. But majority of the time, the chart bleeds downwards. Silver is the poor man's gold, and it's in a bull market, ladies and gentlemen. A bull market. It's been moving sideways for quite some time, and then it's just gone parabolic. Tech stocks during the night have taken a massive hit. We have the likes of Apple, Amazon, Meta, AMD, Nvidia. The Magnificent Seven stocks have erased another 250 billion overnight. Nvidia is down a whopping 33%. This is the biggest stock in the whole of the S&P 500, and it's down 33%. It's about to break my trend line right over here. If it does, ladies and gentlemen, then we're heading downwards. We formed a peak. We might form a head, and then if it does break this neckline, we're going to see some lower prices. Remember what I said in the previous episode. We have periods where assets range, and periods that assets ascend, and periods where they decline. As of now, we haven't convincingly broke to the upside or to the downside. Once that happens, then you know where we're heading. This is Apple, and it's not looking good at the moment. We're down 20%. Let's briefly have a look at Google, ladies and gentlemen. Google is down 27%. We're down across the board, but you already know this. You already know. That's not why you're here. The reason why I speak about stocks is because Bitcoin is closely correlated. Matter of fact, it moves in tangent with stocks, not gold. Gold is an inflation hedge. Bitcoin was never, ever, ever an inflation hedge. Matter of fact, it does poorly. Bitcoin is not a store of value. It's a technology play. Pay attention. This is a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. We break this trend line, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we heading? Where are we heading? 94,000 US dollars. My target still stands. We've got bad news after bad news after bad news. What happens to Bitcoin? It's formed a bottom. All the bad news has come out. We've got Liberation Day. We've got the biggest Liberation Day in America. Yet Bitcoin has held the lows. What does that mean? If you look at the order books, check the order books. Look at these order books. They're buying. There's demand for this area. There's a lot of demand in this area. I need to show you this. I don't do this often, but I just need to show you this. In September the 13th, 2023, this was the range bottom, all right? This was the range bottom. And this guy right over here, Altcoin Daily, my channel is completely different to this channel. I'm not optimizing for views. I'm optimizing for profits. I'm here to help you make money. I'm not here to sell you crack and heroin. I'll be real. Some of these folks are selling crack and heroin. They're opium dealers, bro. They're cocaine dealers. They're cocaine dealers. They're going to be uber bullish in front of your face. They're going to be so bullish. They're like, guys, this is incredible. This is amazing. And they're chilling in their yacht, selling. They're selling, chilling in their islands. They're just selling, just pressing that button. Guys, keep buying, guys, keep buying. That's all they're doing. So anyway, this is a tweet, and it's a fear-mongering tweet. So FTX, this is the massive, massive crash. This is when FTX went to like $7. And what did I say? Solana will be fine. It will probably pump. And it went up a massive, massive amount. From that day, when I said Solana will go up, from that day, it's never, ever, ever, ever gone back to them prices. If you had just listened to me back there, 13th of September, right here, all the way till here, you would have made yourself a massive, massive 12x. I'm talking about a large cap. If you had put in 50K, 20K, 10K, times that by 12, you do the maths. If you had sold over here, you would have made 12x. If you sold over here, you would have made a whopping 15x. 15x. You do the maths. You do the maths. This is the chief executive in one of these fancy banks.
Nice to see you.
It's great to be back here.
How do you do your job?
With great difficulty. It's been, I write a quarterly global economic outlook. I think this last one has been the hardest one. Because, as you mentioned the term, lots of moving parts. But there's just this fluidity to the US policy making that is very, very difficult to get your head around. And I'd love to refer back to the most recent press conference by Jay Powell, where, he was quizzed, well, you've taken inflation up, growth down, and yet your forecast for the Fed funds rate is still unchanged. He was talking about inertia. It's really hard to know how to adjust the forecast. I called the global economic outlook, I called it as seismic dislocations. And I think that hits it quite well. You see, because the US administration is fundamentally changing the global order in at least three respects. The first one is the global trade system. The rule-based trade system is coming under a lot of fire with all those tariffs that Trump is threatening. Secondly, the whole military and security setup is being thrown up in the air. All of these have important economic consequences. And lastly, of course, this administration also wants to fundamentally redo the shape of the U.S. federal government. So there are a lot of balls in the air. But there's also one thing, and this is what makes me hopeful, and that is that Europe is kind of getting its act together, and that Germany at last has ditched that silly debt break, and there is coming in Germany a very, very sizable fiscal expansion. And Europe, I get the sense, is now forced to unite. But
whoa. Let's stop you right there with the propaganda. Germany is a meme coin. It's a shit coin. It's always heading downwards. This is the economic policy uncertainty index. And as you can see right here, we made an all-time new high. Higher than 9/11, higher than COVID, higher than pretty much since history. Okay, we're in massive uncertainty. At Altcoin Hero, we believe that this is massively exaggerated. This is highly skewed to the negative. As a contrarian, you have to take the other trade. If 99% of the people are in one side, what do? You go to the other side. Now, we predicted that Trump will make Powell bend the knee. And it's happening right now. The herd is copying the same rhetoric as me. I did say this time and time again. He will do the same thing that he done in 2017. We've got another big week, and this is the Super Bowl of macro. So we have the ISM manufacturing data coming out tomorrow on Tuesday. We have the jobs reports coming out also on Tuesday. And we got the biggest event. We got Liberation Day, folks. That's happening on Wednesday. The Americans are the best at marketing. Then we have number 4, non-farm payroll. That's coming out on Thursday. Then we have the job report. And finally, Mr. Powell, we meet again. Ethereum. My love of Ethereum has really skewed me to the wrong side, all right? I'll be honest. I thought Ethereum was going to perform better. At Altcoin Era, we've been telling folks that Ethereum is probably going to head down. Your favorite alts are going to head down. All of them are going to continue to bleed. Why? Because of QT. QT is our Achilles heel. Okay, that's not going to change until when? Until the taps have turned on. But I want to show you something because I can't unsee it. I just cannot unsee it. And this is Amazon. I'm going to show you on the weekly chart. We're going to go all the way back to the .com era. I just can't unsee it. I want to unsee it, but the more I keep looking at this, the more it kind of makes sense. We're seeing something very similar playing out. We had a period where we went up massively. This was 2021. There was a lot of money printing. There was NFT, massive speculation. Amazon, the same thing happened here. Massive speculation in the .com era. 1998, 1999, and in 2000, we formed a peak and we formed another peak here. We had 95% correction, 85% correction. And then for a while, we did move up to sideways. We consolidated for a while at the local tops. This is a little bit of hopium, but right over here, ladies and gentlemen, don't take this to the bank. We had a sizable correction. This was 2008. Now, what happened in 2008? We had a crash. Now, what's happening right here, ladies and gentlemen? Look closer. Ethereum has shown massive weakness. Why? Amazon went down a whopping 63%. This is the weekly. Ethereum went down a whopping, so far, 56%. Just for dubious speculation, let's just say we go down 61%. Ethereum will get to $1,500. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we need the Fed to pivot. But the charts look very, very, very similar. I just can't unsee it. I just can't, guys. I just can't. I know it's a bit of hopium. I know. And here I want to give you concrete facts, okay? I want to be as objective as humanly possible. But ladies and gentlemen, there is some similarities going on. It's a bit strange. Guys, am I seeing things? Comment below. Am I seeing things? Is it just me? Am I seeing? It's no surprise. Ethereum's transactions are down. DEX volume is going downwards. The chain fees are heading downwards. Everything across the board is heading downwards. There's no secret. Also, Solana is similar, very, very similar. Transactions are down. DEX volumes are down. Fees are also massively down. Chain revenue is down, etc., etc. Ethereum has had a rough year. This is the ETF inflows for Ethereum. What do you notice? There's a lot of zeros, isn't there? Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's risk off. The only folks that are buying Ethereum right now is us. We got some really, really bad news. We have some really, really bad news. Let me put my McDonald's hat on as well. The foundation is about to get liquidated. They actually took out a collateral loan of $100 million. If Ethereum gets to 1,100, that $100 million of ETH is going to be liquidated. One big alpha is this. A lot of whales are going to leverage hunt. And they're going to push the price to 1,100. One man's loss is another man's gain. So put some cheeky orders at 1,100. I repeat, put some cheeky orders at 1,100. This is the crypto watch list for the week ahead. Oh, guys, before I begin, make sure to add my Twitter, okay? Right over here. It's on the link in the description. We have some upgrades happening on Sonic, major upgrades happening. Then we have Mantle, and it's going to reveal its Q2 roadmap on April the 2nd, including updates on its index fund and Mantle banking. Then we have INET, and it's set to announce a new enterprise deal in the coming weeks, with network earnings surging 150% in over the last 3 months. Then we have Jupiter Exchange, and it's gearing up to release Jupiter Mobile V2. And finally, we have 117 million token unlocks is scheduled for April the 3rd, accounting for 47% of its circulating supply. What are we going to do in altcoin area? What do you think we should do regarding this piece of information. Let's go over technicals, and objectively speaking, this has formed a shoulder, a head, and another shoulder. Okay, there's a neckline right over here. If it breaks this neckline, then we can head up higher. Ethereum is forming a double bottom. We formed a bottom right here and another bottom right here. The good news is there's massive buying orders over here. This fluorescent green line marks huge pent-up demand for these prices right over here in the order books. Now it can definitely go lower. You can continue to go lower, but it shows there is a sizable demand here. We could see a pivot for the short term. If Bitcoin heads to 94,000 US dollars, what's going to happen to alts? They're going to have a brief respite period. At altcoin era, we fundamentally believe that the prices will continue to go downwards. There is positives regarding this. There is massive positive. You can dollar cost average your favorite altcoin. Keep on DCAing. All right, guys, you just got to keep on DCAing. But for the meantime, there's a lot of demand happening here. If the order books continue to overflow, there's going to be massive demand here. This is a period where you buy fear. And I'm saying categorically, right now, we've hit max fear. Coin has ended its downtrend of 76,000 US dollars. We're going to either move sideways or we're heading up higher, but we're not seeing a new fresh low for Bitcoin, at least for Bitcoin. Your favorite altcoins, that's another story right there. Let's go over some of these altcoins, okay? We have Arbitrum, and Arbitrum has just gone downwards. It's just gone downwards, guys. And since it's been launched till now, is down a massive 80%. I'm not picking on no one, but let's go through Aptos. And Aptos is currently at around, I think, $5. Aptos hasn't been faring as badly as Arbitrum. It's just been moving sideways, which is better than the performance of Arbitrum. Now remember, I showed you the altcoin index, season index, okay? Not altcoin era, but altcoin index. The altcoin season index is at 22 at the moment. Now, if I overlay some of this information onto Arbitrum from October 2023 all the way until March, Aptos had a rally from here. It went up 3x. Then we had August all the way till December, another altcoin rally. It went up 2x. Here's some alpha. And if you simply have done this, if you had bought during the rallies and sold during those rallies, you would have made so much money, no headache. You would have walked into the sunset. You could move sideways for a while, fake out sideways, and then do a rally. I'm just giving you a typical example. You can do this with every other altcoins. All the altcoins have shown the same price action. It just moves sideways. It peaks during the altcoin rally and then comes back down. It peaks during altcoin rallies and then it comes back down. Peaks during an altcoin rally and then comes back down. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the relative lows. And I said this before. I said it's a good time to start nibbling on some alts. I don't think we're seeing altcoin season for a very long time. Very long time. Until QE begins. Until then, we're going to see altcoin rallies, and most of your altcoins are going to go downwards to sideways and just have moments of bounces. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Now, you know what? Let me keep going. Let's go. Let's continue. I got a lot to say. Okay, so let's look at some more altcoins. So we have Tron. Tron is actually performing well, to be fair. It's gone sideways to up. It's doing really well. We got Matic, and do I need to say anything about Matic? Shall I? One more time? I don't know who's holding Matic. God knows who's holding Matic. It's just terrible. Wow. Don't buy Matic, guys. It's dead and buried. The team is just dumping on everyone. For you to even get to the previous all-time high, that's a 13x. It needs to go 1,300% to even get to the all-time new highs. Bitcoin just needs 30%, 20% to get to all-time new highs. Matic needs a whopping 1,300%. You can trade these coins on a larger time frame. Now, what you could do is, because as I said, altcoins this season, this cycle, have just primarily been going downwards and then seeing altcoin rallies. Okay, like I said in the index right over here, from this period to this period until March, it had a rally. Then, most importantly, when I gave you the coins like Filecoin, AI16Z, Virtual, Cerebro, all of these coins went absolutely parabolic. From August all the way to December, I gave you some of the biggest plays in crypto. You heard it here first. I'm giving you some alpha again. What you could do is start nibbling on some. Once you start nibbling on these alts, wait for this to go up higher. Once it breaks this area right over here. Now, most of the time, whenever it breaks this little blue line over here, we tend to go to the middle range. So this is a good time to start nibbling on some alts and then, of course, take profits. Dodge is outperforming the markets. That's part of our portfolio, to be fair. We've outperformed majority of folks to the downside. Here at Altcoin Era, we preserved our portfolio. So we're nibbling on some alts now. We're preparing ourselves for the next rally. If you want to join our private members where we can save you a ton of money and make you gains as well, join our private members. Let's talk about XRP. I was telling you to accumulate and to buy XRP around here. Now remember me, I'm here to help you and give you some edge and some alpha. All right, I've always been a contrarian. I was telling you to buy XRP at these lows. It went up a massive 6x, massive 6x. It outperformed Ethereum. Yeah, it almost broke Ethereum's market cap. I believe XRP is going to consolidate around this area in the medium to long term. And then once again, the bulls and the bears are right now fighting it out, deciding if it's going to go lower or higher. Me personally, I think we're going to the upside. I told my friends and my clients to sell. I know a lot of channels, they don't tell you when to sell. They just tell you constantly to buy, and bag hold and become exit liquidity. I'm telling you now, folks, sell. Sell your XRP, guys. Sell your XRP. Take profits. You've had from November till now to make your mind up. Guys, take profits. XRP is heading lower. It's heading to this area. Now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is telling you we're going up higher. Yes, my long-term target is at $6. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, take profits. Take profits and buy back lower. I told you about Casper, but no one wanted to listen. I did tell you. I had one subscriber, his whole display picture was a Casper logo. And I said to him, the minute you've made your display pic an altcoin, especially Casper, that's the peak of top. That's the absolute top. That was actually a top signal. Casper went down massively since then. From the very, very top all the way till now, it's gone down 71%. Casper was the trade of the cycle in 2023. It went up massively. From the very bottom in 2022 all the way to 2023 November, it went up 100x. And you really think it's going to go up another 100x? The best thing you can do is short Casper. And finally, guys, honorable mention, I've told my private members to buy Tether Gold. We're up. I did, so you can buy this on Binance. This is pegged to gold, 1-to-1, Tether Gold. We're up so far, while the rest of the market is down massively. We adapt our portfolio for these kind of periods. You cannot just simply be on risk off and see 75% losses like arbitrary and 80 or 90% losses on massive caps, ladies and gentlemen. You can preserve your gold dominance. Now, gold is outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin in periods of economic uncertainty, on inflation coming back again, gold tends to do brilliantly. And that's how you preserve your gold dominance. Whenever you see a doctor or a surgeon doing this, during his shift, that's normally a bottom signal, guys. This is normally a bottom signal. I know that's a bit longer than usual. If you have any comments on some of your favorite altcoins, I'll have a look at them, technically tell you where it's going. But as of now, guys, I'll see you very soon. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be back to back. I haven't been here for a while. I missed you guys. And I hope you all have a lovely day wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, good night. Peace.